Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make some bugle fringe. First, you'll need a beading needle. This is size 12, and optional, you can use a long needle like this one, which is size 10. I recommend using fireline thread in 0.006 inch or 0.005, and this is the crystal color or clear, like so. And this thread is really great. When you bend it, it will kink and hold its form. It's awesome for doing brick stitch. It's also strong, so you're not going to accidentally rip it. You're also going to need some seed beads and some bugle beads. The full details are in the description. Lastly, I'm going to use some Nymo thread in size B to do the fringe. Grab about 3 feet of your fire line and then thread your needle. I'm going to take my bugle beads and pour them into a container so they're easy to grab. Taking your needle, grab 2 bugle beads. Then push them down your needle and down your thread, leaving about a 6-inch tail. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go up through the first bead that I added, the one that's closest to the tail. And you're going to pull carefully and pull them together so they're sitting nice and parallel like this, making sure that you leave that tail. Now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go down through the second bugle bead to secure it, just like that. Now we're going to go 1 bead at a time. I'm going to add it to the top. You can see our thread is coming out the bottom, so we're going to come in from the top and go down. When you pull, it'll create a loop and then your bead will sit parallel. Then go up your bead to secure it. Now we're just going to keep repeating this 1 bead at a time until we've created our base row. We want to do it 9 beads across. If you're liking this video so far, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like access to more content, tutorials, patterns, etc., join as a member. Now we're going to start our second row. Again, we're going to grab 2 beads to get started, like so. Push them down to your beadwork base, and now we are going to anchor them using the stitches between. So you can see there's the first stitch, and here's the second stitch. Since we have 2 beads, we're going to go through the second stitch, right underneath it like that. You're going to pull carefully, and then you're going to secure your beads by going up through that second bead where our thread is coming out. Now you're going to pull. If your beads get messed up like this, simply unpull and then pull again. You can see they're not sitting perfectly, so I like to do 1 more stitch to secure them and get them sitting nicely. So go down through our first bead. I like to go under the stitch for extra security. Pull, and then go up through the second bead, and you'll see it pulls them together nice and close and doesn't leave any gaps. Beautiful. Now we're going to continue 1 bead at a time. Taking 1 bead, we are then going to go under the next available stitch, like this, pull, and up through the bead, like that. And you'll see we'll pull it in and it'll look nice and pretty. Now keep going all the way across, adding 1 bead at a time, securing in the next available stitch until we have gotten all the way across our base row. We are doing decreasing brick stitch, which means our first row was 9 beads across and our second row is going to be 8. Each row will be decreasing 1, resulting in a triangular shape when we're completed. Now you don't have to pull extremely tight, just pull until they are secured. And as you can see, we are working all the way across until we run out of stitches to secure to. Like that. So you'll see 9 and then 8. Now again, to start a new row, 2 beads. Don't go through the first stitch, but the second stitch. Then pull, go through our second bead, pull again, and then we're going to secure by going through our first bead, under the stitch, and then up through the second bead. Now again, we're going to do one bead at a time, working all the way across. Keep repeating this until we get to a row that is 4 beads across, just like this. Now I'm going to use a thread protector, and this is to add our earring hook to. So I'm just going to grab one out of my container like this. You want to go up through one side of the little horseshoe shape. But first we are going to move our needle so we are in the middle. So I'm going to go down the second bead and then up the third bead. This way we are positioned in the middle of the beadwork. Now we're going to grab our thread protector, go up through one side of the horseshoe like this, push it down to the beadwork, and then go down through the other side and the bead below it. Just like that. Now pull tight, making sure that your thread is sitting on the protector. Now to finish off, we are going to secure our thread with a tension knot. So I'm going to work my way down the beadwork a little bit, and then I'm going to zigzag going up and down the beads. You want to create a zigzag shape with some loops in it, and this is going to create our tension knot. Instead of tying a physical knot, we're going to do it by creating a lot of tension so our thread doesn't come out and our protector stays secure. So keep on zigzagging like I'm doing here, moving up and down, going up and down the beads. And then once it is secure, we are going to trim off our excess thread. Take a pair of scissors and cut close to the beadwork. Like that. Now we're going to repeat the process with our tail. So thread your needle with the tail that we added at the beginning. Work your way up the beadwork a few rows like this, and then zigzag again, doing the exact same we did with the long end of our thread. Once we've done a few zigzags, then we can trim off the excess thread. Take your scissors and cut close to the beadwork. Ta-da! We've finished the top of our earring. You can finish here, or you can add fringe like I'm about to. Now I'm going to take my Nymo thread in size B. We use this thread for this section so that we can have nice dangly fringes. So again, we're going to start with a tension knot to weave our thread in. So I'm going to start in the middle of the triangle, pull my thread through, leaving a little tail to get started. Then we're going to zigzag back and forth until our thread is not pulling through. So keep on zigzagging back and forth, back and forth. To know that it is fully secure, pull on your thread, and as long as it doesn't come out, it is nice and strong. Then we can work our way towards the bottom row of our beadwork, the bottom of the triangle. I want to come out on the end, so I'm going to go up and down one last time so we come out on the side of our bottom row, just like this. We're now ready to add our fringes. So you can do this whatever length you want. I'm going to do 6 beads. So grab 6 bugles, push them down to the base, and then you're going to take 1 seed bead as your stopper bead. Now push it down, and you can see we have our seed bead at the bottom. I'm going to separate it, then take my needle and go up through just the bugle beads, as well as the first bugle of our first row. Just like that. Now we're going to pull. To make sure it's all nice, I'm going to hold that seed bead and then pull again. Now I'm going to go down the next bead of our base row and repeat this process again. Now you can change the lengths, or you can go ahead and do the same length all the way across like I am. grabbing your bugle beads and one seed bead, skipping that seed bead and going back up through the bugle beads. To finish, we are going to do one more tension knot. Take your needle and thread and zigzag through like we did the past times. To test to make sure that you are properly secured, tug a little bit on that last fringe, and if it doesn't move, then you can cut off. And there you go, an easy pair of beautiful earrings with gorgeous bugle beads. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up, leave any comments of future tutorials, and make sure to check out my membership if you're interested in more.